I know I had some more of that. Well, good morning, y'all. Let's see who we got in here. So, Anyfin, good morning. Avid, good morning. Chad, how you doing, bud? Yep, that's right. Let's go. Chad been catching a lot of perch and traps. For y'all that don't know Southern lingo or northern part of Southern lingo, that means bluegill, green perch, anything in that sort. We have a tendency in northern Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, even some up into Nebraska. I've heard some people say they call them perch, but technically they bluegill. But it don't matter. Most of us know what we got going on. So when we're saying that, let's see. Try to get some light on the subject here. Turn that down a little bit. Save on some battery because I forgot to charge my battery. So now it's going to throw a glare on my eyeball. Yeah, I'll be good enough. Anyways, so how's everybody week been? I hope everybody's been doing good. I should say last 2 weeks because we missed last Friday, didn't we? Did we miss last Friday?
I don't know.
Or was last Friday when I had breathing problems? I can't remember.
You didn't miss it. You tell everybody online they breathing problems.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, well, I'm better now. Come to find out, most of it was all that smoke in the air from all the fires everywhere. So, but I can breathe now, kind of. About as much as I normally can. Anyways, my problem is I got fat. I realize, I don't weigh myself often because it's not easy to do. But oh yeah, I'm about 30 pounds heavier this time now than I was this time last year. So I got fat. No wonder my wheelchair kind of tight. Morning, Split Shot. How you doing, bud? Yeah. So needless to say, I need to go and start eating a little bit better and stop eating so many monster cookies. She was gonna make monster cookies the other day, and she never did. She made Reese's chip peanut, but basically Reese's chip cookies. They're all right, but they're too cakey. I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing because I stay away from them.
You know, I made espresso ones.
Oh yeah, then she made some espresso ones, which I thought that's what we took fishing with this yesterday, but it wasn't. We ended up taking them mediocre cookies. She don't normally make mediocre cookies, but it's not her fault. It was just humidity something. So I'm not blaming it on her. I'm blaming it on atmospheric conditions. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Good morning, wannabe outdoors. How you doing, bud? All right. So, well, anyways, I got some of my hair removed, but now you can really see that I'm going bald. So maybe I should get a long comb over and just wrap it around. Instead of a man bun, get a man cinnamon roll. I don't think so. I'll shave my head. But anyways, let's tie something. What'd you say, Naomi?
I said you're babysitting.
Oh yeah, and we're babysitting Rosie's mama, so we got 2 Dobermans in the house, and they're like, if y'all don't know, Dobermans play rough like most big dogs. It's interesting. I say hey a lot. As long as they stop when you holler at them, then fine. And it's not rough. I mean, some people, from Dachshunds, it's rough. Dachshunds just run around and chase each other. They don't argue and get teethy. At least mine never did.
Hey,
she,
David.
she let him in. It's all right,
No.
Naomi. Come here, Megan. Come here, Megan. See, everybody can't be able to see her. See, there's Rosie's mama. That was a quick shot. She don't stay around much because Rosie's in food for one thing. She's gonna be wanting to go eat it. Yeah, like two teen boys rough house. These are two females, so it's worse. It's like two teenage 13. It's like throw a, you know, this may be a little outdated and not PC correct, but throw something two teenage girls really like in the middle of the room and see what happens. And that's kind of like what it, I mean, with these stuffed animals, like there's 20 stuffed animals for these dogs to play with, chew toys, all that stuff. But you get two Dobermans together and two female Dobermans at that, and even though they mom and daughter, there's Rosie just turned a year old, so she's like got that whole, mentality until the mama gets a little bit, and then she's like whimpers down and gives up. But that ain't gonna last long, and it keeps getting a little bit testier each time. So these Dobermans have moved furniture 4 feet, just playing. So it's hilarious. But it's all good. Hey, good morning, Danny. How you doing, bud? Yeah, what, Naomi?
8 days.
Yeah, we're gonna have her for 8 days because my son they went out to Colorado, so they're gonna go ride their dirt bikes, which are street legal dirt bikes. So my son's got a Yamaha, and I think she got a Suzuki, or is it he got the Suzuki and she got the Yamaha? I can't remember which way. Anyways, hers is blue and his is yeller. So that's what they got. Right on, Danny. You're driving a big tractor with a spray rig. Well, keep them windows shut. Don't be huffing that stuff. But yeah, but the kids are going out there to Colorado. They're going to go have a good time and see what's going on with their bikes on them trails. They're going to go Telluride first, and then they're going to go up to Moab. So they'll be gone for 8 days. So everybody pray for their safety and riding. And he took his taco that his 2002 Toyota Tacoma. He took that up there, and we just put new axle and stuff in it, and put a new flywheel in it and stuff like that. So hopefully he's done that clutch enough cycles to get up that mountain. If not, he's going to be slipping his clutch and hurting all the way home. Either that, maybe dropping that transmission on the side of the road, changing clutch. He's done it 4 times now. We've had that transmission out, so he should be used to it. He should have it down. He just won't have Dad there to help. Yeah, hopefully they keep calm. It keeps calm out there and all that. Yeah. Y'all trying to move furniture? I got this little dresser that was my son's when he's a kid. They're trying to push it out of the way because I slid it over. Well, Naomi wants me to get all this junk. My that's what she calls it. All my tie-in stuff. She wants me to put it in this dresser and get it up back out of the way and stuff. So it's not like just everywhere. Because like literally our living room is right there, the kitchen's right there, and I can see it all. So hey Fresno, how you doing, bud? But what I want to do is I want to tie some of my little wire jigs, and but I'm gonna do it on a bigger hook because like these big bull bluegill, they're tail hitting all these jigs and it's driving me nuts. So I'm gonna tie something that's a little bit bigger, and it's like the ones that I tie on a size 10. And like I said, forgive the Dobermans, they're playing. So, but I'm gonna do this like on a larger scale, and there's gonna be a lot of distractions this morning. So please forgive me. So what I want to do is I want to make like I'm just making like what I do with my little bitty size 10 jigs on a 1/64th head or 1/80th head, that has a wrap of thread, and then you run a wire, and then you put a piece of chenille in here. Well, I'm just upgrading size on everything. So I'm going to take some of my this is like woolly booger chenille, so it's pretty small, and I'm going to tie that in there and start that off. But I'm also going to put in a blue wire. Now it's going to be kind of contrast between the black of this, and this has got some like green flash in it. But then this blue wire is going to be wrapped on top of this and create like a sectional part of the thorax. So, and this thing's going to be kind of look like it's just going to be ridiculously huge. But the good thing is the crappie will eat this thing too. So I've only tied 2 this size before, and I just did it to play around, and it worked really, really good. So, but you're just going to wrap this woolly booger chenille all the way up, kind of keep it even, and you're going to go probably leave a quarter. Yeah, that's probably 3/16 of an inch, because you're going to tie a bigger piece up there. But you need to wrap this wire, and you can wrap the wire with, or you can wrap it backwards against. Like, see, if you go backwards against, it kind of you'll be able to lock down your chenille and make it a little tighter and more, uh, segmented. I think, I'm not real good with big words, people. I've been a laborer all my life. I did good in school on math, but my English was desirable. People just did not understand me when I was a kid. I'm surprised people do now too. Ernie Brown, how you doing, bud? What size nymph would this be? Okay, so this is like a size 4 hook, and it's a 32nd ounce jig head. So it's fairly big. I mean, that thing's an inch long, maybe an inch and an eighth. But we're just doing some goofy stuff, playing around, having a good time, drinking some coffee, and making some absurd jigs. So, but you know what? Sometimes absurdity wins. All right. So then you're going to tie on this bit, now you got your wire wrapped up there. Now tie on this big old fat piece. This stuff's like 3/16 wide, but I'm going to do 2 full wraps like that. All right. My eyesight this morning is not the greatest. I've been like having breathing problems and stuff lately, but I think I got most of that sorted out. I need to go get a dang rescue inhaler is what I need to do, which means I gotta go back to the doctor. So, but I need to take care of myself. I know I do. I got Gregory and Matthew and Mama to look after. So, okay, so this is kind of a weird looking. Hey, look at there. Miss Pontaine Jody showed up. How you doing, girl? Okay, so like, see that thing is like goofy looking. It's just grubby. And if you want to make it even grubbier, instead of putting this chenille up here, you can wrap some fuzz, which we'll do that. We can do that one too. But the thing is like way bigger than the other ones I tie. Here, I'll like show you the other ones I tie. See if they'll even show up. Like, look at my size comparison here. But there are some grubs out there that are this big, that fall in the water. So, I mean, bluegill just about eat anything that kind of twitches or moves. Any fin is possible. I said hi to you at the beginning, but I don't know if you were in here or not. Okay, so let's do another one like that. But like I said, that was a wrong size hook. I grabbed the wrong one there for a minute. Come here. All right. Somebody, as in me, dropped some 6s and 4s in the same hole with the same color head. So I messed up my little jig box. I have to go back and sort them. Yeah. Uh, you guys can message me and if y'all want a couple. I'm easy to get a hold of. Are you out of breath? Rosie come up just a panting. Okay, so let's do. We're gonna do the same thing in the same color, but instead of that chartreuse chenille, we will run. And if you run your chenille all the way back with your thread before you put your wire will slip. So start them both at the same time, or start your wire first and run your wire down, and then come back and put your chenille on. So hopefully that wasn't too fast and y'all caught all that. Okay, so on these bigger ones, just go back to the curve and maybe just a little bit beyond, and that's all I do. So tie that in, and since we're not, uh, I'll just do this one. Kind of everybody seems to want to just go the same way when they do chenilles and wires. A lot of people like to go backwards just because that's like their traditional technique. But y'all do you. It's all about doing you. Find the simplest, easiest way that you can tie and just do you. Might not be later. Why might I? What? Why may you not be later doing good, Jody? Any fan, Haiti? What's actually a really good size? Yeah, it. I mean, it's kind of big, but think about it. You get like, get dragonfly nymphs and larvae and all kinds of stuff like that. This one will look way better because I got a little kind of idea in my head for this one. So it's going to involve this little black feather. So let's get this one finished up. Okay, so like you're going to have the wire. So I'm just going to wrap the wire the same way that I did the chenille because I mean it's a bluegill. If this was like super picky trout, you would probably not even use this thing, but even dumb farm raised trout would eat this thing. So I, this is like this will be the most of this size I've tied because I've tied one or two of these back in the day and used them, and I was kind of surprised. And then we were thinking about what was we going to do today, and then I was like, oh hey, I know what I can do today. So I thought I'd do this today. So oh, chat went faster than I did. Hold on, let's go back and let me catch up, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
Pinkhead. Yeah, pinkhead. Yeah, farm raised trout will eat anything that has a pink or a chartreuse head, pretty much. I'm not allowed to cook while James is asleep. I was bored, so I started cleaning. Then to me for. You move the furniture around enough, and he might walk into it if he ain't paying attention. Well, good luck, JBT. You have a great day and hope catch a big one. I've seen some of the fish you've been catching lately. It's hard to keep up with everybody. Mr. Tully. I miss. He said, yeah, James. If y'all don't know, people, some of us are friends enough with Jody that you tease her about her cooking. there's a whole thing with Jello and everything. It's kind of fun, but she's a sweet gal, and I don't care what anybody else says. I like her. She catches some pretty nice fish. Wished I could get out there myself and catch some fish like that on a boat, but we're going to work on trying to get a boat. That's one thing that we're going to really. I'm going to get that. I got a '64 Rambler in the garage. Well, let's get caught up with chat for real quick. Keith, good morning, bud. I didn't say hi to you. I'm sorry. He's feeding his face. He cooked a pot of spaghetti so she wouldn't cook. That's hilarious. Dang fat fingers. Yeah. All right. So you tie that hackle on there. I gotta find my grabber. You know, it's amazing when the closer you get to 50, your eyes start going, what? That last year, man, I don't know. I turned 50 this year, and even though I got new glasses, this lower light is hard to see sometimes. But I'm going to wrap this hackle feather. Oh, I broke off. Hold on, re-grab it, start over. It's okay. Like old Bob Ross used to say, it's not a mistake, it's happy accidents. Oh, you're going bass fishing? Well, you still catch a big one.
Give me one.
Everybody likes catching ditch pickles. Bass are fun to catch. Gregory, we went fishing yesterday, and guess what, guys? My last video was a tribute to my son, my autistic 26-year-old son. Hey, Miss Becca, how are you doing, girl? Yeah, my Mr. Tully, I see you in there now. How you doing? Yeah, we tribute to my son on this last video because he is like a fishing fool. That kid, man, I tell you what, he outfished us the last 5 times we've been because he jumps the fence and goes over by the dam. But regardless, he's got the twitch down, he's got the motion down, the pull back. Gregory is just a fishing machine. So that last video was kind of a montage of all of his fish that he caught, his good ones that he caught this year so far. So sorry you had to watch some same video over of Gregory fishing, but it was a blast. I mean, I have so much fun with that kid. It's awesome that I get to fish with my son. So okay, so like this one's just a fuzzy one. So like you see the fuzzies, it won't show up. There it goes. And it's big. I mean, it's big, but it'll work. It'll work. I appreciate all y'all coming in. We've got 14 lovely people watching right now. We're getting some jigs going.
Yeah, your friend watching and driving.
I got friends listening as they're driving down the road. Hopefully they're not watching while they're driving down the road. Keep your eyes on the road, fellers. Be safe.
And he's a semi-driver.
Yeah, my buddy Jason, you guys seen him in the videos. He drives truck for a living too, and he's driving right now. So if you're listening, Jason, have a good day, bud, and be safe coming home. He's on his way back from Omaha, Nebraska. He drives up to there from Hutchinson, and
watching your videos.
He listens to my videos on the way, or on my lives to the way back. Sometimes he calls me after we're done, and we talk about things. So. Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Nail double-digit bass. Heck yeah. I had one double-digit bass when I was a kid. And that was down at Possum Kingdom Lake, Texas. We were using a spring scale. It was pretty close. So. Now we need PayPal for the cookie funds. Gregory is awesome. You can tell he has the gift. He is the type of guy that can fish person next. Yeah, every time, every time he he is impatient, is all go get out to a certain point in a certain way. He changes lures like every 2 minutes. If you ever watch on a live, you watch what he's always in that box tying on something, and he changes lures. He finds what they're starting to bite on, then he zones in on color and all that stuff. But he does it really quick. He does like what we would do in maybe an hour or so, trying to find stuff. He does in 3 minutes. But he also remembers all that stuff. When he was a kid, I'll tell you a little story about Mr. Gregory. When Mr. Gregory was a kid in school, they had this firewall security protection stuff on these children's computers at school. Well, guess what? Gregory could remember how he busted that firewall every single time he would get through there. They actually had to contact the tech. They had to contact the tech people that do their security stuff for the computers, and they had Gregory show them how he got in there each and every time, and he just found an open back door, like a maintenance back door, and that's how he would get past their firewalls. Well, he was getting pictures for his friends, and they're not good pictures. So needless to say, he got in a little trouble because he was looking up girls in bikinis. And it was only girls in bikinis. It was nothing really super risque. So, but then they banned him from using his tablet unless a para was sat next to him because he was in the special ed classes. So, but it was hilarious, and he still tells people today he's like, that taught me, that caught me, is what he's saying. But Gregory's speech is a little bit, he needs some more speech therapy, but he doesn't want to go. So he's an adult. He can make his own decisions. And Gregory is stubborn too. You ask people go fishing with us. It is when it's time to go, it's like, come on, Gregory. Come on, Gregory. Gregory, come on. We gotta go, Gregory. Come on, Gregory. I didn't say come on to you. Okay, now I'm being licked in the armpit by two Dobermans. Hey, I'm trying to tie here.
Go back out.
Thank you, dear. Them Dobermans. I love having dogs. Like, I've had these little bitty, teeny tiny Dachshunds for well, the girls are 12 and 13, 14, 15, I don't know how old they are anymore. Time goes, once you get old enough, you just don't remember. But we've had teeny tiny dogs for the longest time, yappy little things, bark at everything that walks by. Somebody walked by half a block away, they're barking. Well, the bad thing is they kind of started to teach Rosie that, but I got me a water gun, and when Rosie barks at things that I don't like, she gets a little squirt in the butt because she's barking out the window, so her backside is facing me, and I guarantee you squirt a dog in the backside like that, they go, wait a minute, what happened? And she will jump off the couch and she'll stop barking.
Yeah, you missed.
But now she don't bark as much anymore at people walking by, and I'll get her broke of that because she doesn't need to do it. But if we're sitting on the front porch, she's sitting beside me, she just watch everybody walk by. They can walk by 3 feet from us. She's just walking by. She might want to lick them. But when she's in this house looking out the window, it's like bark, 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 bark. And she got loud bark. Naomi. Avid said that Naomi needs PayPal to start a cookie fund. She's laughing at me. She just came back in, so that's why I just told her. She's putting, I gotta not see that thread. Come on, Dave. Trying to cut it super close. Yeah, see, there's another one. It's got real fuzzy head. I mean, like that is stuff is out that far. And forgive my hands. That's axle grease that won't wash off. Like, changing transmissions and pulling axle shafts out and changing rear seals and all right. So enough of them little goofy things. Uh, what am I going to tie now? I'm trying to think of what else I want to do for y'all. I guess we could just tie a few jigs up. I need a few that have more earthy tones. So we do one with a little kind of a light. This is a light purple head. Right on. Yeah, you know how to do it. We've been in touch before. Catfish and dog. Or catfish dog. I always want to say catfish and dog. I'm having a better day today. Last time I was live, I couldn't breathe worth a darn. Thought I was dying for a minute. Not while I was on, but after I was like trying to get in the truck, I was breathing real heavy. But well, now I can't get that in. Okay, so like I'm gonna just do. We're tying different stuff today, so bear with me. Trying to get all this stuff that's hard to see under my control. Problem is, I got so much stuff on my table here that putting this and like having all that stuff in the background, it's hard to distinguish. Yeah, just don't call me late to the bite. Well, our crappie here are this year is like, I mean, crappie this year just been goofy, goofy, goofy. I don't know what their problem is. Ah, I never did get those new scissors. Okay, so like, there's like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 pieces of flash there. So they're, that is that long. I wish I could just get y'all a little closer. I'd have to figure out this whole camera situation because it just can't never seem to get y'all. I mean, like literally, the camera is only 12 inches from this jig. So, anyways, we've got a nice big piece of pink feather and it's got a curve to it. I'm going to lay that curve right over the top of them, and then I'm going to lock that feather down right there. And this was not really a goofy one because it's just, flashy, 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 flashy. So, but I want that earthy tone on the front. So we're going to do this purple head, and then we're going to do that, and then we're going to get this one as soon as I can get it unwrapped. This one is like a June bug, so it's kind of like a tan with some purpley on it. And on here, I know it's got that blue hue because my camera sucks. Excuse my language, people, but if there's any children listening, I'm sorry. Some people consider that a curse word. Anyway, yeah, wrap that thing. And I'm going like, I normally just do like 3 wraps for my body, but this one I'm going to do 5. Some people like a little longer body. And I don't normally tie longer bodies because I don't like them. But sometimes they have their purpose. Some people tie that body clear back to here. And if that's what you like, fine. I should have changed that thread. But to prove my another point that I like, or another one of my little, you know, things that bother me sometimes is people can see your thread between your head and your body. A lot of people tie that way, but if you see, you can just faintly, faintly see that chartreuse behind that purple and that. So that means that it's really pulled down in there. But that just ensures that your jig is not going to fall apart. David, I ordered 100 different. What? Just take your time, bud. Yeah, want to be outdoors. Just take your time, dude. Go slow. My hands hurt like crazy. Oh, I gave up a crappie. Yeah, catfish dog. The the crappie this year just been weird. Our water's been so low at most of our public access water, and even at our private waters, the water's been so low. The only place that's full is my pond, but it's spring fed. So, and I mean it's a spring from the aquifer, so it never goes. I mean during the heavy drought, everybody else's stuff dried up, and I'm talking like ponds 10 foot deep, 12 foot deep, just dried up to nothing. And mine was only like a foot low. So, I'm blessed to have that, but it at my pond the fish are just doing their normal thing and doing the normal time of the year and everything else is like the weather didn't really affect them. But at public waters these crappie got dumb. They we were they were on fire in February. They were off at the end of February. They were on fire again at the beginning of March. Some of them had eggs in March. But we had a couple of heat spells that brought the water temps up into the 50s, and they started developing eggs. And then now we were hoping the last couple of rains we got that the water would come up the shore, but that didn't happen. So I mean, the at the least the water's still, in my opinion, about a foot low. So we're still catching crappie 20 feet off bank, and this whole last week they should have been right on the rocks. Well, Gregory found them 3 foot from the rocks, but down the dam. And the only way I'm going to access that is my kayak, and I don't like taking my kayak when I'm fishing with people. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Welcome in. You came in a little bit ago. I'm sorry, girl. I'm keeping up with chat and my tongue running. Sometimes don't. My eyes ain't linked to my mouth sometimes. Yeah, well, and I don't know what it is. It's either. I mean, it's got to be our weather cycle. But here's the thing: is we're approaching a super El Nino is what they're thinking. So we're going to be, the Pacific Ocean is warming up super bad off the coast of California, more than expected. In the last 3 years, we've been kind of calm. We had the ladder of the La Nina or whatever it is for the last 3 years. So that was cooler ocean waters. Less don't. But if you notice this year, Colorado or California was getting pounded a few months back. Well, that's the start of the warmer, which now means that we're going to have wetter than normal conditions in the south, drier than normal conditions in the north. And then right here where we're at, it's going to be same junk we've been dealing with for the last 5 years, drought wise, here in the middle of Kansas, or well, southern part of Kansas where I'm at, but central. And then so like this year, look all the way up until December. Mark, you come back and watch this video and tell me. I'll tell you, the this year there's going to be a lot of storms between Louisiana all the way over to Florida. They're going to be way worse. There's going to be a lot of tornadoes, even all the way up to November or so. It's going to be bad, but it's also going to produce East Coast snowstorms, which northern East Coast snowstorms, which they don't normally get. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Welcome in. Sorry, I'm late. I was ranting. Yeah, they just with that Pacific get warmed up like that, it's going to cause a lot of problems. And people, I'm telling you, watch it. It will. You don't think it will, but it will. But that I was going to show you that little jig. I know that I called with that said we were going to do goofy jigs today, but the only reason why I called that goofy is because that's a lot more flash than I normally run, and I only ran one feather. So now this one, we're just going to do this be, kind of goofy because most people don't do rubber legs, but I'm going to do rubber legs, and we're going to make this one kind of the double hook angling colors. So it's going to be a little orange, a little black, and some chartreuse in there. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same with us. We're gonna be in the middle of all of it, so we're gonna have pretty much the same weather conditions we've had for the last 4 or 5 years. So It's not going to be much different for us. And this one I'm going to make the body a little bit longer too on this one. But I'm going to make the tail a little shorter. So I do about like maybe a 1/4 inch past the end of the hook, and then lock those down. And then at beginning, I stretch them just a little bit until I get them to where I want. Then I relax them and then do like a soft wrap right there at the very end, and then come back and then get tight again. What that does is it keeps your rubbers, if you look, keeps your rubbers more back instead of making them go like this. So remember, tight up till the last couple wraps, loose that wrap, and then come back and then make them tight again, and they won't go. Well, thanks for listening, Paul. Appreciate each and every one of y'all, not just Paul. Yeah, I'm not so much worried about the drought anymore. We've been getting some light rain. I mean, we're still in drought conditions, and we're still kind of in moderate to severe drought stuff, but it'll get better. I mean, it usually does. Thing is like out in California, they're using so much water they can't keep full out there. But that's just what's crazy is everybody. Well, we have a water shortage. We have a water shortage, but you go look, a lot of that fresh water coming into them areas, they just gets dumped in the ocean, and then they complain they don't have no water because they don't have reservoirs out there to contain it. They just let it flow into the ocean, and when they get overflow, instead of catching it. Okay, so we did the orange head, the orange and black, and then it's got like goldish, kind of sour, trucy flakes on it, but they're golden. I think they're just reflecting the light to me. So, just what I want. And then we're going to do the sour truce body. This will be a nice bright one. And this one will have 5 wraps. So there's 3, 4, and 5. And see that, like right there, there's that one didn't lay right. And I don't like that. So don't be satisfied and accept something you don't like. Go back and redo it. The only way to get better at it is just do better. I mean, go back. If it don't wrap right, like this one's keep wanting to fall downhill, well, I'm going to stop that. Drive me nuts. And it's because that rubber made this little shoulder right there. I'll just build that up, and that'll stop that. See, now it laid right. Sometimes you just got to fix it. Don't accept it. Fix it. It's a jig. It's all done in one sweep on the thread. You can always unwrap everything until you do that right there. Once you do that, the only way you're going to run and wrap it is cut it. But all right, so look at that thing. Just a fun little jig. I know it's hard to see, guys, but no. Well, I guess I better stop with that, or I'll have to go pee. I've had 4 or 5 cups of coffee, I think. I don't know. You know what? Maybe I have. Naomi, when you get up, no, don't get up, but when you get up, could you get me some more coffee, please? Did you hear me? See, she didn't hear me. I can talk this loud and she don't hear me. Naomi.
What?
See? And next time you get up, don't make an effort, but next time you get up, would you get me a half a cup of coffee?
Yes.
Teasing my wife. Yeah. And then you can leave the rubber legs longer. Yeah. Let me go back. I think that was one of. Yeah, want to be outdoors. Yeah. Have you ever put more than what usual? Yeah, I do put more than usual on there sometimes. But when you do put more on, make them a little bit longer. So, and if you make them longer, you'll get more action out of them. The shorter they are, it's just going to take some of the rigidity out of it. Yeah, I like that color scheme too. So. Yeah, we got some rain that's coming. I hope we get some rain. It is a little early still to talk about drought stuff, but it's coming for some areas, and some areas are going to get some relief. It's a big country, so. And Naomi, can you turn that down a notch? I don't know if they can hear that or not, but he's talking loud. Okay, so now I'm gonna just do a really bright one. So like, let's do the sour trucy color. We're gonna do a white head. Get that tied on. Um, here's some that's right here. All right, so you're talking about like some longer ones. So here's like some rubber that I have that was like a sour truce and then had black on it, and then I just cut to where you just see little tips of the black. So take 2 naps, yes.
Go lay down.
What?
Go lay down, girls.
Can you make coffee in the microwave? Well, I suppose you could if you use. Yeah. Well, I make coffee in a coffee pot, and you guys, I do. Here's my thing: is we use what is that, a 2/3 measuring cup? Something like that, half a cup.
Something like that as well.
Yeah, we use a 2/3 measuring cup. Like a 2/3 of a cup measured out. She reaches in there and she scoops that out, kind of moundy, and that's how much coffee we make every morning for a pot. So a thing of Folgers, the tall one of Folgers, literally lasts us like a week, 10 days. But between me and Naomi, we make 2 pots of coffee a day too. So we go through like
3 small containers.
she's saying 3 containers a month of coffee. I think that's about right. Yeah. Well, anyways, you make these longer. So like these are like really long. So like that jig that's 2 inches long. Um, you can make it that long, and then this would be a good crappie jig because you're going to have a lot of movement and stuff. But if you want to go shorter, I'll show you what it does. So you seen those legs are just like laying back there. Now look, when you make it that short, those legs don't move as much. Make them just that much longer. You see all that much more movement that you get out of it. So I'm gonna cut about a 1/4 inch off of that because the way they was just a little too long and floppy. So then see, like you pull tight, they want to stand up everywhere. So just like lightly wrap, not super light, but lightly, and then come back and snug it back up, and see now they all step back more. Yeah, coffee in the microwave. If you're reheating it to drink it after it's cooled down a little bit, I can understand that, but make it in the microwave. I don't know, because I don't like instant coffee. Most of the time I like to grind my own beans, but lately we've just been buying already ground in the thing, probably getting sawdust and everything else. I mean, we do buy Folgers, but hopefully Folgers don't put sawdust and stuff like that in their coffee like some companies do. If they do, I don't want to know. Half green and half black. Okay, let me get coffee. Okay, I drink coffee. Oh, you don't drink coffee. Oh, okay. You like tinsel in your jigs? Yeah, some people really like to have a tinsel tail too. Full tinsel. We can do one of them too Miss Jody. Want to be yeah, Ernie. I see that. 6 to 8 big cans of Maxwell. Well, what I'm getting at, Ernie, is like some people like like do a tablespoon in their coffee and it looks like tea and you can see through it. That seems like the norm for most people. I want my coffee to be like the old fashioned truck stops, like all of it, all the old truck drivers in here we know what I'm talking about, like back in the day, you know. Okay, so let's finish this real quick and then I'll do one with that's like half black, like in half sour truce. So this one just got a white head, little black tips. There's like black specks in the rubber, and then we're just gonna we'll do a sour truce body here real quick. We'll do a short body. So 3 wraps. Oh, look! Sometimes you have that problem, people. That them rubber legs got me. I'll start over now. I didn't pull tight enough when I got down, and my whole thing slipped, and I untwisted it. So come back in there. I'll lock that thing to guarantee it won't spin now. Well, you take care of Miss Jody. You go take a nap and get ready to go fishing. You be blessed, girl. Have a great day. Same with you, Catfish Dog. You have a great day. Ernie drinks tar. See, I want you to put the spoon in there and stand up in the middle of the cup. That's what Grandpa used to say. Like, if it don't do that, it ain't real coffee. But Grandpa, I remember my grandma was making coffee on and when I was real little, I remember her making coffee on the stove. I don't remember if she was using a pan or a percolator, but I can remember standing at the stove pouring coffee off of, something that was sitting on the stove. It might have just been a perk, but whistle will come to you. Right on, Catfish Dog. Take care, bud. Yeah, like Naomi's on here now, everybody. Yeah. Anyways, let's finish that jig off. See, it didn't spin that time, but so okay. So we're gonna do what he said. Even though he left, I'm gonna make one anyways. Half green and half black. That's my problem. Sometimes I just talk too much. So like, here's some that's green and black. So we'll make all those black ones even, and then we'll do half and half. So we're gonna cut off about that. Whoop! Oh, the advantage to having bent scissors is it's easier on your wrist, but also when they fall, the stand up enough you can get your fingertips on it and pick them up when in your wheelchair so you don't fall out. And percolator. Yeah. All right. So we'll cut them rubber legs about to where they're half black and half green. Let's get this. I'm gonna be. I got all that extra thread, and I just wound it all in there, Dave. You weren't paying attention. All right. Let's cinch that down tight so it don't spin on me this time. Now, half black and half white. Maybe a little bit more than half and half, but pretty close. Cut the rubbers off and save that because you can still use them. And then, ooh, since we got that green head, let's go back to that. Nah, I don't like that. I don't. It's got the blue in it. We'll do this one. We'll do that. Just that straight woolly booger black, and it'll be green, black, or sour truce, black, sour truce, black. Okay, just a minute. I gotta finish this, and then I'll catch back up with chat. All right, so there you go. So that one is half black, half green, black body, green head, or sour truce instead of green. But there you go, bud. Naomi puts like, oh my god, it's like, ugh. She'll put this much coffee in there, and then she'll put that much other whatever, whether it's fruit, chocolate, capper, like she got flowers and all that stuff on the container. So I don't know. Mocha stuff. I mean, things that, I don't know. My coffee is like straight out of the container, the pot into here and nothing else. Dark and strong. Only drink 1 or 2 cups a day, but now I drink enough to where my eyes like, and then like, when I start feeling it, that's pretty much like I gotta quit drinking coffee or go eat something. It's probably bad to drink that much coffee though. That looks crazy the way they are standing up. Yeah, it looks good. I like that jig. Yeah, the when you color segment them like that. Ooh, you know what? Here I got one for you too, real quick before you go. You like that black and green theme? Ooh, I got one right here. Let's do this one, and I'll show you this one. Okay, so like green head. I'm gonna ignore chat for just a minute. Yeah, now we can drink coffee all day. Only thing is if she goes anywhere, I was like, I gotta pay. She says that a lot to me. But guess what? Since I'm in a wheelchair now, I'll be like, all right, let's find a spot. Especially when we're traveling, we like map out where we're going to go to the bathroom. Because when you're traveling and you're in a wheelchair, you kind of got to. Because it's not like, I mean, you stop on a dirt road and do your thing. So, okay. Now, we're going to get that thing tied down tight. Okay, so like this is like black and green, black and green, black and green, black and green. And then this is black and green, black and green, black and green. We're gonna do this one, and then we're gonna do one for Miss Jody, even though she went to take a nap. She gotta go fishing. So here you go. It's just like all black and green, except for the head. It's just green. Now this one is crazy. Dude, I'm tying some more of these later. I want some of this for myself. Them came out really nice. I like those. All right. Ah, don't grab so much, David. I almost cut it too short there for a minute. I had to catch the end of the fuzz. There we go. All right. I'm trying to make my jigs look good, guys. Got to be perfectionist these days. So many people flooding the market with jigs. You got to just do your thing. If you don't like it, start over. So, like them legs, you see how straight those legs are? They'll lay in that water just the same, just like that. That is a good looking bug right there, man. I hope you can see that body's just as segmented. Got a little like see that body? That looks good. Yeah, I got a buddy that was in the service, and he he jokes about he had coffee for half of his deployment. The problem was is they had to use it like chew because there wasn't enough water. But when you go play in the sandbox like that for your country, you sacrifice more than most people ever thought. Grandpa served 20 some years, and or he served a long time. I'm not for sure exactly how long, but he was in the Air Force, and he did he served for quite a bit, and he would get upset when people would say thank you for your service, and he said I didn't do nothing but my job. He's like, the ones that died, they're the ones that we thank for their service. So y'all remember that. You wouldn't have the freedoms to complain and gripe about everything we got if it wasn't for them men and women. Okay, this one would be, she said that Miss Jody said she liked tinsel. And I think she went to take a nap, and I greatly appreciate her and everybody else for coming in. But we're going to make her one that is just tinsel. We'll use chartreuse flash tinsel. So, like, there you go. See? And I want to trim those, but I don't want them all to be the same length. So you just kind of got to. Okay. I think that just needs a couple more. So I'm just going to get a big one, fold it up so I can get as many as I want. But appreciate all y'all being in here. It's grateful to have you guys come and watch Ty. Um, we're going to I'm going to try to start getting some guests on here. We've talked about this before, and it just hasn't come to fruition yet. I'm still trying to use this whole StreamYard thing and get it all figured out. I still haven't figured out the whole Wheel of Death, the giveaway thing. Once we get that away or get that figured out, the giveaway thing, then we'll start doing some more giveaways. But until then, I'm not. If y'all want something, just holler at me. We're not gonna worry about the whole giveaway thing. And then I got another little announcement is I had quite a few people wanting stuff this week, and just because of money wise, I have not mailed out nothing for the last week, and it's all sitting right there. I got 6 things to mail out, and that's going to cost me probably $50 to mail all that stuff. So I had to wait until I got a little extra cash because bills come first, people. My children, my wife, myself, we all come first, and then we'll get you all taken care of. So thanks for being patient with me, and I apologize for not getting your stuff out as quick as I wanted to, or as probably maybe even as quick as you wanted to get it. So, and everything will be mailed off today, though. So, okay, so there's a nice little flashy jig for Miss Jody, and I know she likes black, but there's a little pink one. She don't really care much for pink, from what I understand. She's not a pink kind of girl. There you go. Now you can see that pretty good. And that is only flash in the tail, nothing else. Oh, um, I guess I could. I never thought about that. Any fin. I'm just not a guy that just wants, I mean, off the hook outdoors, welcome in. No BS catfishing, welcome in. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to tie jigs and keep up with chat. Sometimes ain't easy. But how do them hold up catch and skipjack? Well, I've heard really good things about them holding up catch and skipjack, but the number one jig, and a guy that is I'm friends with on Facebook, and he's a great fisherman, is Micah Burkhart, and he has got the, I believe it's the Tennessee or the Kentucky something blue. He's got 100 and some pound blue cat state record out there. He bought some jigs from me, and then he uses them for skipjack, and he tears them up. And I will tie one real quick. No BS. We'll tie one, and I'll show you what I do. So this is what I call a gizzard shad jig. I've done videos on it, and I've done lives with this. This is like my number one go-to jig for me around here for crappie. And this is a 1/8 on a 1/0 hook, so it's a big size. And that's the crappie around here in South Central Kansas. They are about what did I say? Okay, so I got lost train of thought. The crappie down here are huge. My crappie I've been catching are anywhere from 10 to 15 inches, and sometimes up to 17. So we haven't caught any of those this year. Only the biggest one we caught this year is like right shy of 15, like an 1/8 inch shy of 15. But we catch lots of 14 and a halves. I think we're at like 30 some fish this year alone that's over 14 or that right at 14 and a half. You know, that pound and a half, 2 pound range. So, but this jig starts off like this. He has the blue cat record. Oh yeah, the blue cat record. Yeah, Tennessee state record. Yeah, he ordered some of these and he tore the skipjack to tar. I mean, he was so happy. He messaged me and said that he was grateful. And but anyways, I want to get me a good feather here. I like long, feathers with long hairs on them, and for this jig. So I trim it. I don't try to like get down to the quill or nothing. Just trim it so you get all the fuzz you can. You tie that on. You come back here. These jigs are fairly long. You're going to trim that quill right at the bend of the hook. And get this one on, trim it. And I tie mine one at a time. It just makes it easier for me. So make this one a little bit shorter right there to fill in the body. So this other one fits right there where the tail ends the same as everywhere else. Then get that locked in and drop right off your head, just like that, because this one has a bait keeper on this body. So I drop right off of that, and I use heads that have a bait keeper on it. I just trim that bait barb off. And then the size of this is a 1/8 on a 1/0 hook. And then the feather. So like this jig is 2 1/4 inches long, 2.5 inches long. So then and that's just a regular light gray or a ghost gray. Then you're going to take, this is some rubber. So some of the rubber stuff, legs, this one's serrated. It's got a nice flash and opaque hue to it. Fishing Frustrations. Welcome in, bud. How you doing? Ain't seen you in a week or so. I was online. But I haven't been on many people's channels this week. I've just kind of had too much stuff going on. It's time to mow and everything else. And when you got 5 acres to mow, it gets kind of rough. So, all right. So we're going to trim them back there. And this one, I normally put 6 to 7 of them little rubber legs on there. Sometimes, maybe a little bit more. But you just want a few extras on there, and it just adds the color to it. And then I got more silver. I just had some out the other day. What'd I do with it? What'd you do with it, Dave? What'd you do with it? Oh, I just had a package out. Get back. I'm not putting you out. Just because you heard a motorcycle go by. Was it Timmy? Okay. Ah! I finally got some stuff in so I can make some gizzard shad jigs. So I'm grateful to get to show you that what I got going. All right. So I got some silver bullet chenille, which I haven't been able to get for like 8 weeks. But when I finally found it, I bought 5 packages of each because they didn't have a skein. If they'd had a skein, I'd have got it. Okay, so you're going to tie on that silver bullet. And you're going to wrap that down to the drop off and back. Keep that out of the way. Then I got this light purple. And this light purple, you're going to want your hook up because when it sets in the water, this will actually be the back. That won't be the back. Ouch. I just hooked my finger. The blood will add to the scent. Okay, so get this out of the way. Then you wrap the silver up. Get the silver wrapped up there and get it tied off. And if this jig is a little big for your area, so like if you guys are further north, you may want to drop this down to a 16th and still do the same color combos and stuff, but just, 16th and go medium chenille instead of large chenille. So then I pull that purple up there so it has a purple stripe down its back, kind of like a skunk. Trim it off and lock it in, and this is what I call the gizzard shad jig. And this thing this thing obliterates crappie. And according to Micah, this obliterates the gizzard shad, or not the gizzard shad. This gizzard shad obliterates the skipjack. Get it spit out. And I believe I actually gave a couple of these to Pontoon Jody, and she said that she was catching skips on it. So in my area, I don't have skipjack, bud, or if so, I'd be making videos on skipjacks. But see, it's got that nice purple underneath. It's kind of hard to see on my camera. So, but I got quite a few of them tied up in this last week. And it was just to refill my box because I use that jig right there probably 50% of the time. And, then we're also getting into where now the bluegill are coming off the beds in our area, in our warmer corners of our ponds, which, means that they spawn basically a few weeks early. In the bigger bodies of water, the bluegills are just starting to dig beds and starting to build eggs in our area. So the males have really bulked up and got their colors, and it's just been a wonderful time to go flying. So fly fishing is I rather fly fish than anything else. But when I go after crappie and stuff, since I have to sit on bank now, being in a wheelchair, I've gone to spinning rods more than anything. And but I do love to fly fish, and trying to fly fish from a wheelchair, you have to relearn everything. So it's just not like you just go out and just go fishing again once you're out and sit on your butt. So imagine sitting in a chair and trying to fly fish or something like that. It's not as easy as what you would think. Keith, you said, I got your address, Keith. I'll send you 3 of them in a 16th. I'll message me, Keith. Message me on Facebook so I don't forget. Matter of fact, you know what? We still got a little bit of time for the boys should be home anytime, but Keith, we'll just do yours right now, bud. I know you'll pay. Don't worry about it. Mailing you 3 of them, I just do that in an envelope. It cost me like 60 cents to mail it to you. So trying to find my piece of rubber that I had a minute ago. And but this one, you'll in the case. So now when you're doing a 16th, you don't want those super big long fuzzies, but you still want a decent length. This jig's not going to be 2 1/4, 2 1/2. This jig's only going to be like 1 1/2. Yeah. Well, it didn't draw no blood. It just popped my skin. See, my thing is you know, want to be with my fingers in this wheelchair. You know, I mean, look at my paws. I mean, they're like, I mean, they're like leather. So, and as much calcium building stuff as I take and vitamin D and all that, my nails are like steel. And you know, everybody's, you know, you're sitting here watching me tie jigs, and I'm sure y'all seen my pinky nails, but they, you know, it's kind of gross, but I use it to keep my ears clean and pick my boogers. And but also in the fishing world, this sounds kind of weird too, and I know it's gross going to have long nails and digging in your ears, but in the fishing world, I can take that pinky, since my nail's so strong, and I can reach down into a fish, even with a 1/16 jig. I can reach down into the throat of that fish, and I can get my pinky nail on that hook, and then I can just push it back down. Because most of the fish I catch, my pinky will fit down their throat all the way to their gullet. So, but you tie that in and get it off there. These you just tie about like right there. So, I'll tie you up 3 of these, and I'll get them in the mail with all these other packages I got to send off. But I do got to go from the large to a medium. Well, like any Finn was saying that, you know, put my link up for on my website for my PayPal. Uh, you can just, I mean, you can hit somebody's email link and send them money. Like if you get on your PayPal and you type in their email and you can put send money to them. If y'all feel like you want to do it, I mean, I don't know. I just feel hinky about it. It's like it bothers me to ask for or to even put that up so people can send me money. I suppose if you really want to send me money, you know, you could just send it to my personal email. I don't know. Is it safe to put your personal email out? I mean, it's just an email, ain't it? They can't get nothing off of it, can they? Okay, so this is a 1/16th, and this is on a size 4 hook, so it's a small hook. I am going to grab that because I cut that a little short and it didn't seem like it was going to pull before I tuck this one down. I get my contortion going on. I'm like, hold still, Dave. All right. So there's one. I'll tie 2 more. Well, that one kind of snapped when I was tugging on it, but it snapped along. So, okay, there you go, bud. There's one. I'll set that there, and that will remind me to tie 2 more and then get them mailed off to you after we're done here. So, and then I'll put those 2 heads right there just to make sure, and that'll remind me to get them mailed off to you, Keith. So I appreciate your interest in them, bud. Okay, so now, ooh, you know what? I got some itsy bitsies that I need to pour up. I got me a 1/80th mold, and I've used up all my jigs. I thought I had some more, but I don't. Got some strays sitting here. We can use tie up some strays. See some oddballies in here. All right. Oh, you're welcome, Keith. I appreciate you. But if you want to send me money, you can just send it to DAVIDLE. Yeah, or wait a minute, there's 2 L's in my deal. It's my name, is what it is. David L. Lemon. So DAVIDLLEMEN at gmail.com. That's my personal email. I mean, if y'all really need to, just message me. I just feel weird about it. All right, so we go to tie a little bitty dude. There's 2 feathers there. I see you guys can see that. Oh, Indiana Chris, you were in here and I didn't see you, bud. I'm so sorry. Unless you were just lurking. I did not see you say that you were in here earlier. Heading out. Mow some more grass. Well, I gotta go mow 5 acres after lunch, so I feel you, bud. Me and Gregory gets the field at the farm, and I get up around the house. He runs into the house. It took him a while to learn. We set him loose. We got a field out there that's about 2.5 acre field, and at least 2 acres. We just took him out there in the center of it, and I said, "Here's the 0 turn. Don't put the throttle more than this." So it was real throttle down, and then he learned how to kind of function it. And we let him mow it a couple times, and he did a good job mowing, except for the stripes were not. I mean, it was like he was all over the place. So, but now we're gonna take this one little piece of rubber off, folded it in half. See, fold it in half. I'm gonna pinch it, but I'm gonna like go down both sides. Or if you want to make it easier on yourself, lay that piece of rubber on one side of that and lock that in, and then go down the other side and lay it down the other side. So there's like one on each side. And you want both of these to be the same length. So, and it's okay if it wants to fall. Just get it back up there where you need it. And then I'll tighten that pretty tight. So it'll just wrap. All right. So now you got one down each side of those 2 feathers. And then and that's a disco green head on a size 10 hook. And this is just a regular brass or gold, I guess was what it is. It's not, I don't even know. I don't think it's brass. I just think it's one of the gold plated hooks. So, hey, Deborah, neighbors, how you doing? Welcome in. I believe I sent you a sticker. I'm not real good at remembering names until I see y'all for a while. So forgive me for that. Okay, so now we're going to go back with this. Since we did that kind of sour truce and white rubber with the white feather and the green disco head, we're going to go with that kind of that sour truce middle because we want this one to be pretty bright. And we're going to just give that a couple wraps real quick. Oh, somebody's outside. There goes the dog's moving furniture again. Y'all didn't hear earlier, we're babysitting. My dog is a European Doberman. She's a red. And her mama is staying with us by my son, because it's her mom is my son's dog. It was his girlfriend, now his wife. It's their dog. So what'd you get? A Chewy for the, oh my goodness. Gregory bought this thing at the thrift store so the dogs can have something to play with. I hope y'all seen that. Now she just gave it to the dogs. One's got the head, one's got the feet. So in other words, guess what? There's gonna be stuffing everywhere.
Give it to me.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Don't do it on
All right, so now we got this one done, tied off. So I don't know what you want to call that. We'll call it a little mayfly because it got them two little stingers off of there. So sinking mayfly.
That's too big for that.
Oh,
Kinsley?
we're about to the
Kinsley.
what size?
50.
Oh, those are huge.
Kinsley?
They ain't gonna fit me.
Kinsley?
Oh, I doubt it. Yeah, they bought 48 pants. I think you overestimated me by about 8 inches, 10 inches. I may be fat, but I ain't got that big yet. Fishing fever. How you doing? I seen you was on the other day, or you had a video up the other day. You was live, I think. I was thinking you was live, but my freaking, I watched a tournament this weekend. Sunfish King had a tournament going on this weekend, Sunday, and his multi-species thing. I watched probably 3 hours of that, but guess what? I couldn't type, couldn't message, couldn't text. Couldn't do the whatever you want to call it where you type in there and chat. That's it, chat. I couldn't chat, wouldn't let me. So, but I watched. Now we can do a little natural color one. So this jig head color that I got here on this another little gold hook. There's a size 10 for this one. Now that is earthworm, so it's got like a Oli color iridescence to it. I've been doing a lot better. So I can breathe. Yeah, Naomi, we're gonna quit here in just a minute. I'm gonna tie this one last jig, and then we're gonna say our goodbyes to everybody. But I want to do an earthy tone jig here. Yeah, I still gotta go buy blades for both mowers and get some hydraulic fluid. They don't need their filters changed on the hydrostats yet, but the one's got a slow leak. So like every time I mow, so running the mower for 2.5 hours, running around mowing, it uses about 2 ounces of fluid out of the hydro. And I see the leak, and it's just a matter of getting in there and fixing the leak. But in order to get in there and fix the leak, you gotta take half the mower apart just to tighten it's just a hose, just leaking. Or whatever it is right there. Yeah, the hose coming off that got like a fill reservoir underneath the seat or right behind the seat that you fill the hydros up with. But it's got a little bit of a leak, so it's annoying. All right, so like this is a natural color one. And this one here, you take find a good feather here that I like. Those are all super big. Just take the tip off of that. See, that's what I mean. Dobermans play rough. It's so funny. Like I said, it's a way different thing than Dachshunds. All right, so you got a little olive. I know it's real hard to see, guys. You see that little piece of olive right there? You're just going to put that about literally 3/16 of an inch or so right behind the hook, because you're going to want this jig to be fairly short, because this is a bluegill getting machine right here. This is the one that I tied for myself and went out and caught 100 bluegill off of one little jig.
I know.
Okay, so going to take a piece of flash. I folded it over so there's 2 pieces. I'm going to stick that down this side of the body and get that locked in. And I'm going to take my looped piece and I'm going to stick it on the other side. So now this thing has some flash down it. So then we're going to take that little bit of, here it is, this June bug color, which is that kind of off brownish, it's got some blue flash and stuff in it. And I did switch over my thread to black also, guys. So you're going to just do a couple wraps. I want it to be kind of super floofy. And I did say floofy because it's like a cross between fluffy and absurdly fluffy. All right, and then you're going to tie that thing down. All right. So look at that little dude. I know it's real hard to see, but maybe my camera will focus just long enough to see it. But that little thing right there is the most bluegill getting jig I've ever tied. So if I was to say that if I had a jig that I use, most of the time, that's probably a quarter of the time I'm fishing for bluegill. I'm using something like that, or I'm using all my flies, and forgive my shiny head. But I keep spares on my hat. So if you see, I have my little like mayfly, whatever emerges that's got two wings that lay back like that, cockroach. I don't care. You do it. You can do it in a red and brown and make a cockroach pattern. Just do the body a little fat. Man, it's just a good tear. Throw it out with your fly rod and then short twitches like this back. So it goes toot, toot, toot. That will kill them bluegill and even some crappies. So then with you don't have a fly rod and you still want to use flies, get you a bobber, weighted bobber, whatever. Put you a split shot or put you a jig. Just get you a nice 64th ounce jig. They'll cast out with 2-pound line. With 2-pound line, you can cast a 64th ounce jig 25 feet out. That's more than enough to get to bluegill. So off of that jig, tie a stinger line about 3 to 6 inches, and then tie your fly back here. They'll come and investigate that jig, and they'll see that fly, and they'll tag that fly because we do this out the farm pond a lot, and the gills love it. So yeah, it is dangerous for gills. Trust me. So, Keith, I'll throw that little one right there that I just tied. I'm going to throw that in and with yours, and you and I'll talk money later. So, hey, you guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. We're down to 5 people now. It's been a blast. You guys are great. So, thanks for watching. Go tie something. We're out of here, guys. See you later.
You could definitely use it if you get Rosa.